As a little preface here, although I don't think that I should have to do this, but understand that I do, I want to preface this list with a statement such as this. Listen, this list from 5 to motherfucking 1 is opinion. Yes, they're opinions based on facts, but we all perceive that shit differently. And so, brothers, I know, even saying this, there's gonna be plenty of motherfuckers out there getting angry, just pure hatred for me for putting their game, farther back on the list or not at all, or putting a game on there that they're like, hey, shit, that doesn't even belong on there. Listen, these are called opinions from how I see it. All right, bitches? And if you still insist in comments and inboxes, this is what you can do with those. Send them, I want you to send them to a specific inbox. The one located in the deepest part of your fucking ass. All right, now that that's out of the way. When we think the grand scheme of gaming, I'm talking the entire fucking landscape. We think, of the games and the companies that started it all, and Nintendo's a huge part of that. They have been owning for a while now. They've been owning shit since day one. And they introduced us to characters like Mario and shit. And of course, Donkey Kong, which is why I and you are here today, analyzing the 5 best Donkey Kong games that have been made to date. Bringing it in at number 5, the classic, the trailblazer, the arcade original fucking Donkey Kong, featuring Jumpman, the Mario before the Mario. Listen, this motherfucker's coming in at 5 simply because we cannot deny the fact that everything that followed was better in almost every way. Gameplay, graphics, stories and shit. We can't deny that. That classic Jumpman versus Donkey Kong. It's a very simple thing. The Donkey Kong, he throws barrels and shit. You gotta dodge and jump the barrels, get up, save the princess. It's fairly easy, but for the time, it was completely appropriate. With everything else on the market and with, where gaming was in that period in the timeline. It was good. It was good for the time. It's fun. It's still fun today. It aged well in a classical sense. So you gotta give props to 5. But yes, it's last because we can't deny, even with nostalgia, yada yada yada, everything that follows, it's an upgrade. Listen, this one I am absolutely terrified to throw into the mix because, I know that there's going to be, this could spawn a mob. And I don't want to deal with mobs, with your pitchforks and your torches and shit. Because the internet, it's kind of a negative place sometimes, but here goes. Number 4, the classic, the gem, the very first Super Smash Brothers. Listen, hear me out, okay? Shit, this motherfucker, okay, we cannot deny, whether you agree or disagree, if whether or not this belongs on a Donkey Kong list. It's a fucking fantastic, brilliant game, and you cannot deny that you loved it. Yes, Donkey Kong is in it, but he's amongst, a lot of other Nintendo icons. So it's not solely a Donkey Kong game. But listen, there aren't really a whole lot of Donkey Kong games. Yes, there's plenty of, shitty spin-offs and knockoffs and shit, but, in the grand scheme of things, in the main franchise, Donkey Kong is the main star shit, there's really not a lot. And I haven't played Country 3, so, there wasn't, for one, Country 3 didn't even appeal to me, really. But, and honestly, I'm gonna be honest, I haven't played DK Returns for the Wii when it came out. I played it some, but, let's just carry on. Super Smash Brothers. Listen, Donkey Kong, he was a playable character from the get-go and all the way through in all of the Super Smash Bros. Following. So it's kind of a Donkey Kong game, alright? It's kind of a Donkey Kong game. Listen, the pickings are slim with DK. Alright? He's an icon. Great games, but the pickings are slim. That's why it's number 4. Alright? Brilliant game, but it's number 4 because it's not, you know, a main Donkey Kong game, but it's a great game. DK is in it. The pickings are slim. Yada. Moving on. God damn it. Out of every single game on this list, this one, bringing it in at number 3, probably gave me the most anxiety. Okay? The nostalgia is strong with this one. And this one being Donkey Kong 64. This sexy motherfucker. This sexy bitch. Ass for days. That's what I'm saying. This sexy motherfucker. Put that shit on full screen. I want you to get the full effect here. This sexy motherfucker. That's right. Alright. Now pull up your pants. Clean off your lap. Let's get into it. Oh, how the nostalgia is strong with this one. DK64. Revolutionizing the Donkey Kong franchise. Giving us, you know, a look at one of our favorite gorilla, you know, in 3D, in a whole new light. Yes, the nostalgia. Oh, that nostalgia. But I'm trying not to let that nostalgia blind me too much. That's why it gave me so much anxiety. A little story to go along with DK64 and why it's so nostalgic for me is, you know, I got most of my game consoles and games right around Christmas. And there's just something about Christmas that just makes things stick with you a little more heavily. And I was so excited to see this game. Listen, we had Super Mario 64, which gave us a whole new look at Mario. It was a brilliant game. And it left me thirsty for more. What else could these motherfuckers do with gaming and our favorite characters? And then, a few years later, we got DK64. Super Mario 64 was a trailblazer for the 3D, you know, platforming. It was revolutionary. And it all, you know, gave us a glimpse of what we may see in the future. And when DK64 came around, I shit bricks. But they came out easily, don't worry. And a lot of my friends, like, we'd always get together and play this game, and most of my friends had a lot of difficulty with it. But me, I fucking owned it, that game. I owned that motherfucker. I don't know why it clicked so well to me. But it did. My friends were calling me for DK advice. I felt like a motherfucking king. So a lot of the most important aspects here that undeniably puts it on the list is we got the 3D graphics. We have several playable characters. Yeah, in the country games we had, you know, multiple player characters, but we had a few new ones in this one. And that was, you know, it was a nice touch to it. And it was an open world. It was difficult. It was you know, expansive. It had interesting characters. It was funny. It kind of had a tongue-in-cheek, occasionally breaking the fourth wall humor in it, but it was funny. It kind of just, it gave us a new taste to DK. It finally gave them more character. It kind of gave all of the characters more character. It's just a solid game. Number 2, Dos. For my Spanish-speaking audience. Donkey Kong Country. This one alternated with the number 1 spot pretty much the entire incarnation, the entire process here. God, this whole list was just driving me crazy. Until DK Country came out, Mario was owning side-scrollers. It was owning. But you know, I was ready for a fresh face. I think we all were. And that's where DK comes in. The fucking gorilla. Listen, if you like guiding a fat Italian plumber through food-based worlds full of killer turtles and dinosaurs, then you're gonna have a blast guiding a gorilla and his chimpanzee friend Diddy through worlds, much darker toned worlds of like bipedal armadillos and shit. This game introduced us to fun and diverse levels. They were dark and, you know, challenging, and they varied it up. Yes, I fucking hated the water levels. I did, I'm sorry. I've hated water levels in all side scrollers. But moving on, it also had that fucking, you know, minecart level. Nothing excited more fucking rage. Nothing brought me closer to blowing my fucking brains out than that fucking, you know what I'm talking about, right? Right? The fucking cart level. You know, maybe you behaved kind of like this. Oh, god damn it, fuck! Fucking shit! Damn you motherfucking monkey ass bitch! Fucking monkey ass shit stick, fuck! When it comes to Donkey Kong Country #1, no, it didn't completely overthrow Mario. Mario's fat Italian ass was still firmly planted on the gaming throne, but it did forever place DK as an iconic and memorable character for many, many years to come on the grand landscape of gaming, and it's something we've all known since day one, and I hope to never forget. So, #1, a list of DK games. You probably saw this motherfucker coming. Donkey Kong Country 2. Most people, honestly, from what I found, agree that this is the best DK of all time. I don't know. Maybe I agree. It's, you know, it was a pretty bold move. Following up DK Country 1 with a game changer like DK Country 2, completely axing DK, or at least from the start, and then replace it with Diddy and Dixie. You alternate between Diddy and Dixie and you're out to save Donkey Kong. That's a pretty bold move for, you know, your sophomore release, and it was a good move. It switched up the gameplay a little bit, switched up the mechanics, you're able to do a little bit more, jump a little higher with Dixie, not higher, but farther, you get the deal with you know what I'm saying. They basically took everything from DK Country 1, and, you know, it was mostly the same thing, but with a new twist, a new taste. It was good. There's really not a whole lot I can add to DK Country 2 that I haven't added for DK Country 1, because they're a lot of the same, but you know, we get different levels, a little more diverse gameplay and shit, and that's what gives it at #1. It's a slightly, let's call it DK Country 2 point, you know, whatever. So there we have it, folks. Top 5 Donkey Kong games of all time. That list gave me some fucking anxiety. We all love Donkey Kong, and deciding which is where on a list and which is better. Anyways, we all love Donkey Kong. He means a lot to us. It's an iconic character. I'm Arwing Aaron64. I would love to know what you thought about this list. So have at it.